Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and what we're looking at today is another Husqvarna Viking. This one is the Opal 670, and the Opal 670 is like so many of the new Vikings. It's got the plastic thing going on, got the electronic things going on. That's not an outlier. That's the way they're making them nowadays. Some are better than others. I'm not the biggest Husqvarna Viking fan you're ever going to meet. That's the nicest way I can put it. But if you will get these and know that they're for doing light sewing and keep them serviced, make sure you keep them cleaned out. Keep them, tuned up and ready to go. They'll give you service. Back in the old days, we measured the serviceability of a sewing machine in centuries, and now it's in years. So it'll give you a few good years, maybe several good years of service, and take good care of it. And maybe you're only concerned with having a machine for 5 years, 10 years, or get another one. There's a lot of people who do that. There's people that have 3 or 4 of these, and they go from one to the other, and they're not concerned about that. Well, good for you. Me, I like the old, 401s, 158 Kenmores. You know me, it's like a broken record, and they'll last for multiple generations. This little guy here came in because it needed to be serviced. The back of the needle plate was beat up bad. So I don't know if it's because it was being sewn on something that was too heavy and it wouldn't feed it, and the customer was pulling it. But of course it gets beat up in the back, and it has to be polished out. And I'm going to tell her if she keeps that up, she's going to need another needle plate. She may want to order it now and get it in the supply chain so she'll have it ready, because we're having trouble with that. And this one, of course, whenever you service one of these, what you have to do, I'll take its little hat off here. What you have to do when you service these is you have to get the plastic shroud taken off the back, and you have to delve into keeping it clean. And I like to blow it out real good and get all of the built up goop that's back here, all the stuff, and it can get caught up between the gears down here and cause them to break, because they're not metal. That's plastic, nylon. I don't know what you want to call it. It feels plastic to me. Over here on the side, all of the pulleys, the belts are on. Everything that coincides with everything is plastic. I don't know how much stress they get on them, but it's plastic. The hand wheel's plastic. Everything is plastic. And they always tout it when you buy it. They're going to tout the aluminum frame. I've never seen a frame failure in 50 years. The frame, it just sits there and gives you something to attach all of the plastic shrouds to. It could be made out of wood, as long as it was a good solid wood, like an oak or something like that, or maple, mahogany. But it's aluminum, and you pour it in a mold, slap it in there, and there's nothing wrong with it being aluminum. It's just that when they try to tell you that it's got aluminum frame, so therefore it's going to be nice and stout, well, maybe all this plastic should be coming into the discussion. That's just the way it is in my world. So it's as good a machine as you're going to get nowadays. Again, not a big fan of the Husqvarna, the Viking, and of course they'll tell you don't oil them, and I'm with them there, because a lot of people oil too much. Almost everybody puts too much oil, a drop, a half of oil. These don't demand a lot of oil. Wherever there's metal on metal, you need to oil. And sometimes, like over here on this idler, when this thing starts chirping, when it gets dry, it starts really driving you insane. A drop of oil there goes a long way. But you talk to the Viking Husqvarna people, and they will tell you they never need oiling, depending on who you buy it from or the mood they're in. Maybe bring it to us and we'll service it. Maybe that means putting some oil in it. I don't know. But this one was making a terrible stitch when it came in, and now it's making a very, very, very nice stitch. And I hope she'll be real happy with it. She should. As long as she sews on shirts and blouses and jammies and pillowcases and doesn't try to make a saddle with it, it'll probably be fine. Or even sew on denim. Denim's a killer. So sew on light stuff, and you'll probably be okay. And another thing on these, I always tell people, let me reach back here and grab this handle. I tell people, whenever especially when the weather gets cold, if you grab these and give them a jerk, this plastic will snap right off. These things are very fragile. They'll break in half. So be careful when you're putting them in and out of the car, going to the quilt retreat, and you drive there and the back of the vehicle's cold, you grab that snap, and then it's game over for your handle. So be real careful, because plastic's job is to break. And it always performs up to that level. It always breaks. That's what plastic does. This is the Husqvarna Viking Opal 670.